I'm not really sure.
by the pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like they're probably just trying to produce funding, really, in the end. That's a way to do it.
I just want to make sure.
Sorry. But yeah, I can.
Good evening and welcome to Norwalk City School District Board of Education Regular Session, June 16th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burkett?
Here.
Mrs. Crawford?
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez? Mr. Norris?
Here.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Yes.
Recognition of a retiree.
We are excited tonight to recognize and honor Patty Cluting, who has been with our district for 26 years. So Patty, if you want to come on down, we're going to have Brad Kraft and Tim Scheel speak first, and then Dan and I may say a few things as well. It's good we wait until June. We can focus all on you, Patty, because you deserve all this attention. Because if it was last month, we had many. So yeah, it's good that we just have you because you deserve singular attention. So go ahead, Brad or Tim.
I'll go first. So Patty, I just want to tell you, for 26 years, think of this, okay? You've served 2 million lunches. That's a lot. 2 million. That's just at the high school. Yeah, it's probably. You've served 750,000 breakfasts in 26 years. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of kids, a lot of students, a lot of little cherubs through the district. So I know that for sure. I just want to tell you, it takes a lot for to have a little time, patience, skills for all the kids. I mean, it does. I mean, I've seen you out there talking to little kids, and I know they appreciated it. Even at the high school level, how you talk to the kids, they appreciate it too. I know they're gonna miss you. You know that the kids are gonna miss you, especially at the high school. I know that right now. I mean, they know who you are. They know who Patty is. Miss Cluting is, so they do know. And we're gonna miss you. I mean, I know that. So I know you're the go-to person when I call in the morning. Give you that 5 o'clock in the morning text. You didn't text me today. Oh, I forgot Patty. Oh gosh. You didn't text me. Oh, but when I do text you, okay, I'll be there. You're always the go-to. If I need something, you're always there for us. I do appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for your time. I know I've only been with you for like 3 or 4 years now. So, but I've known some of your family members since they were little kids. So, well, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And just so you know, I thought you were going to be in the July board meeting. I ordered you a set of German knives like I did Miss Sue Miller. I actually brought a picture of them so you can take it with you. They don't come into the end of this week. I just think it's a big deal to buy staff members that when they leave, because it's always going to remember you. When you cut something up, you're going to remember what you did for 26 years and always look back on that. That's what I always think. So, and she's got the same set that Sue's going to get. So it's the same one. So just take a little time to come from Germany. So take a little time. So, but I do appreciate everything you've done for us. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm not gonna reiterate a lot of what Brad said about Patty. The only thing I will correct though is when you did get that text from Patty saying, "What about me? You forgot me." She was already sitting in the parking lot waiting. So I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about with Patty tonight, and it hit me as soon as I pulled in the parking lot, and Patty was already here. But Patty's the first on the scene every day. She's already working at 6 a.m. When other people are just showing up and starting to get moving, saying how tired they are, Patty's already sweat. She's already cracking the whip. Right, Mrs. Miller?
We have a lot of people acknowledging that back there, Tim. Like even the family's nodding their heads to that.
So I do want to reiterate what Brad said though about we appreciate everything you do. You're going to be missed. We really weren't sure how it was going to go when not your coworker, but a good friend of yours retired last year, and we think that's why you're retiring now, because she talked you into it. But with everybody here, to acknowledge what you've done for the school district. We now see why you're retiring. We've heard it for a couple of months, and that's what it's all about. So we just thank you for everything you've done for us, all the laughter you've brought, all the hard work. Patty is that. I mean, she is just hard worker. You never see her like taking the shortcut. She's always, going that extra mile, and that's going to be hard to replace. We're going to miss you, Patty. There are a couple things that everybody used to say, well, it's Patty and Sue Ann, it's Patty and Sue Ann. We know the driving force behind that, and now we're not going to have that any longer, so we don't know what we're going to do. We're okay without Sue Ann, but now that Patty's leaving, we are going to feel the hurt, so. But hopefully the family enjoys Patty as much as we have the last several years. So, thank you, Patty.
Oh, I'll miss you too, Patty, seeing your smiley face every morning. And but you enjoy your retirement.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Come visit us sometime.
Here, we'll be here.
We'll miss you.
I'd like to just say a couple things. No, Patty, I'm not going to say that. So there was a cleaning incident there that she will hold against me forever.
If we weren't live streaming this,
Yes.
Mr. Bond would tell the full story, but she knows what he's talking about, and we'll just stop there.
Yes. But Patty, when I started at central office 4 years ago, many days, you're the first person that I see when I come in the morning as you come around to the different offices. And I can honestly say that, every day that you left, the day always got better and was good because we shared a lot of laughs, a lot of information. Next year, we'll have something in common. My nephew is marrying Patty's niece, so we'll be connected somehow there. But Patty, congratulations. You've been a dedicated employee and a good friend to everyone. So thank you.
Thanks.
So we're here talking about employee, but to me, it's the person. She is a great person. When you talk to her, she has this smile and this calmness about her, and you feel good every day. And what she does that other people don't do, they look for additional things to make the area better. So as superintendent, she'd be in my office and cleaning things, and I'm pretty OCD and like things nice and in their spot. She takes it to another level. She's like, you have dust behind here. She wanted people in the reg, and I'll tell this story because this is a cleaning story. So in the reg, and can we get kids to move these dumbbells? So I want to clean behind. Most people, when you see a rack of dumbbells, you're not even going to think to touch those. If I can't get to that space, I can't get to that space. This individual, you probably know, mom, grandma, she's like, no, I need to get behind that little corner because it's dirty and it needs to be cleaned. So probably not shocking to hear that story, but like I said, she does all those things that could be considered tough jobs, and she does it with that smile that we all love. So we definitely love Patty, and we'll definitely miss you. And you can go through and or we can take hold some things for you.
Enjoy your retirement still.
Thank you for taking care of all my kids.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
All right, Patty, this is your opportunity, if you wish, to say a few words.
No, I really.
I know you are.
But thanks, everybody, for 25 or 26 years at Norwalk City Schools. I really enjoyed every 26. Some days it's a little rough, but we got through it. So, thank you.
In a couple years, if you and your sidekick get bored and you don't have enough good-looking kids and cute grandkids, and you're like, okay, I actually have some time, would like to come back and sub for the Norwalk City School District, you have a place here. I think they will take you in a second. That goes to you, too. All right?
You have the agenda tonight.
Bring your nice knives back, too. All right. Thank you very much, Patty.
All right.
Thank you. All right, so we have a SWSF report.
Yes, I will take that. Each year, we actually have funds that we have set aside for student wellness and success and disadvantaged pupil impact aid. And these funds are used to provide students with services that improve their lives, not only academically, but, in their daily lives. Some of the areas, that we use these funds for with the disadvantaged pupil impact, to provide academic interventions, for example, like reading improvement. A couple of years ago, we used that to help with our literacy, the start of our literacy initiative. And that was very important to be able to have those funds. We used those funds to help pay for a study table for our students to go to an after-school study session. We have used it for our guidance staff, for supplies for our counselors to go into classrooms and to provide services there. We use some of those funds for speech and language with our speech and language pathologist, and also to help with our community liaison, or in some cases, a social worker that goes out and works with the families to provide services and resources for them. The student wellness, again, we use those for tutors, and even with our Cheryl Engelhardt, our school counselor, with our facility dog Kepler. We also use for the nursing services that contracted through Fisher Titus. So again, these are funds that we use every year to provide those services for students for their academic and social and emotional wellness. Joyce, you want anything to that?
Fine job, Dan, thank you.
Any questions or comments? Right, now we would be going into executive session to discuss compensation of a public employee. I just need a motion for executive session.
So moved.
Second? Second. Roll call please.
Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett? Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Yes.
Okay, time is 6:42. We'll be back. Okay, returning from executive session, 8:27. I'd like to make a motion to deny the NTA grievance based upon the previous steps disposition. Is there a second?
So moved. Or second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Yes.
Great. Public participation. Each person who wishes to address the board will be asked to give his or her name and address. Remarks should be limited to 3 minutes in length. If after everyone who wishes to do so has had an opportunity to speak, additional comments can be made up to a total allotted time of 30 minutes. Treasurer reports.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. We have our May 12th regular meeting minutes. Then we have our June 2nd special session meeting minutes. Then we have the May 2026 financial reports. Couple items to note in our May financials. We did have 2 CDs mature, one at 4.65, one at 5%. We were able to renew one at 3.95, and I did cash the other one in because we need a little bit of cash flow money coming in. It does sound now, though, like interest rates may not be dropping. They're having a Federal Reserve meeting today. We'll know tomorrow if rates are gonna stay the same, or they're actually talking about maybe with inflation being so high that rates will start going back up. So we will see how that goes. So that is very good for our project funds because we've been earning quite a bit of interest on the money that we have set aside. Unfortunately, it's not good for the project in general because we're a little concerned about where we're gonna come out at with costs being so high. So good and bad there. Our threshold cost payment arrived. This is our resident special ed students that are category 6 and category 2 through 5. This is something I'm gonna try to spend a little time with Representative Dieter, see if we can get a little bit of a change in state law on this. When we went to the Fair School Funding Plan, they changed the way, it used to be called catastrophic costs, they now call it threshold costs. But they changed the way they did it. It used to be a statewide appropriation that all districts were able to apply to the state when they had really high dollar special needs students. Now they take 10% of every district's special education weighted funding. So if you're a district like Norwalk, you tend to get more state money than you do tax money. We're very dependent on the state because we're a poor district. So if you're a wealthy district, the minimum state share is 10%. So you're not getting very much state money. But in the end, we all apply the same way. So you can have a lot of money withheld if you're a not wealthy district, but we all get the same money back. So in our case, we had $837,000 worth of costs. This is over the amount. So category 6 is $32,850. Category 2 through 5 is $27,375. So it's cost over that amount, $837,000. We were reimbursed $214,000 of that, but they deducted $184,000 from our state funding. So based on those $837,000, we really only received $30,000 towards our funding, and that's because of the way they deduct the money. For a couple years, we were actually losing money. We were going, and this is a huge amount of work. I can't imagine what it's like in a really big district. It's a huge amount of work. It takes myself, my EMIS person, my AP, the special education director. Everybody has to come together and try to come up with all the costs for these students. So it's just a crazy program. And I'm hoping we can get a change in state law that they can at least go back to the appropriation because it's just not. I think there's a lot of unintended consequences. I know our previous state rep, I did try to get somewhere with him, but there's been so much focus on just the budget in general that little things like this get kind of messed. So that's my plan. Did have some good news from the state. The budget correction bill, they just passed this last week, had a one-time tax credit for our homestead. These are the taxpayers over 65 or disabled. Also income eligible, so it's gonna be on their January tax bills. It's gonna be a credit of between like $450 to $475. And, good news, the state is going to reimburse all of the taxing entities, which, if you'll remember the discussion about the piggyback homestead and rollback credits that the county commissioners were able to give, there was no reimbursement to any of the taxing entities, the schools, libraries, anybody. This one, there will be a reimbursement because the state is doing so well. They're coming in way over their estimates on their income tax. So they're gonna reimburse us, so that's really good. They're also implementing the sales tax holiday back to the 15 days. They cut it down to 3 days. The one that's gonna happen in August, they cut it down to 3 days because they were using the extra money to reimburse districts for the inflation cap credit, which should be showing up in the next tax bill, which, by the way, has been delayed. Normally, it's out by now. If you remember last year, we had received an advance of next year's tax money by June 30th, which kind of, made the forecast a little off. But because of this inflation cap credit, the first half tax bills are being put delayed. So it looks like it's not gonna be due until the end of July. And the credit is out now. If you go to the Huron County Treasurer's website, you can see what your inflation cap credit is. If you paid your entire bill in the beginning, you're not gonna see it on there. It won't show up until next year. So these are some good things that we see with trying to reduce the tax burden on everyone. So next we have, this was a bit of a surprise, the Fund 034 OFCC half mil maintenance. So I've been talking about this. We were gonna have to set aside money. When we passed the bond issue, we decided to use our permanent improvement money instead of paying adding another half mil to the millage that went with the bond. So we knew this, and the amount was gonna be $175,068.92 that we're gonna have to set aside for 23 years, so that when we have our brand new building, we have a specific maintenance fund to go towards it. Well, our final foundation payment is gonna actually be this Thursday, and yesterday they posted it so that I could finish that, and when they posted it, there was a state appropriation for the half mil credit, which I knew other districts that I've been at where we had the 034 fund, we received money from the state. It's called a half mil equalization payment. If you're, once again, not a wealthy district, your valuation per pupil is lower than the statewide valuation per pupil. The state gives you a set amount of money to make up a little bit towards that half mil because you don't have the property wealth to do it. But I thought that since we hadn't actually passed a levy for the half mil, that we weren't gonna get the state reimbursement of the half mil. So I was like, I was just shocked when I saw that on there. That was just like, I couldn't believe it. And it's a decent amount of money. $72,547.86. So that's really great. But I wasn't planning on having an 034 fund until next fiscal year because it has to just be calendar year, and it had to be calendar year sometimes 2026. But now that the state money arrived here, I want to keep it on the same fiscal year going forward. So what we do as a transfer and what the state puts in is all the same. Therefore, I would like to have the transfer, I would like you to approve the transfer for the remaining amount, which is now down to the $102,521.06 out of our permanent improvement into the 034 fund, which we're gonna have to do anyhow, but we're gonna do it next fiscal year at the $172,000. So that's really good news, but I was surprised. Brad's looking at me like. It was a good surprise for what, right? We don't usually hear that from the state, so I was shocked, right?
Taking our money.
Yeah, right, and so it was good. So next, we have the final appropriations and the estimated resources for 26 and the temporary appropriations for fiscal 27. That way we can start operating on July 1st. So this pretty much should be exact for the appropriations and the estimated resources, but there may be some, depending on when OD pays out the remaining federal funds, we may have some more slight adjustments on that. But it should be all set. Some more transfers and advances. The yearbook fund, we're gonna move some of the class funds from 24 and 25 into the yearbook fund. 26, Pat has plans for the class of 2026, what to do with their remaining funds. You'll remember the board always used to transfer $2,000 to the newspaper fund so that they didn't have any advertising. You did transfer money last year to the yearbook fund. It was $2,811.62. I would ask that you do that again. Pat is looking at what to do with the yearbook class going forward, how to change maybe how much is ordered for it, and he is trying to sell the remaining yearbooks from this year. But that doesn't help with June 30th. We can't end with a deficit in this fund on June 30th. So that is why I'm asking for the transfer. I don't feel like we're gonna need the food service transfer this year. He's not gonna be June 30th negative. He may, by the time we get to August, be down to pennies, but I think we're just gonna wait on that one. The other three, the 590, the 516, the 572, these are actually just advances so that the fund does not end negative because it's a federal fund and we're waiting on reimbursement so that it does not end June 30th negative, and then it'll be paid right back. The school bus safety one, 18,193. This is a state grant that we received. We have ordered the items for it, so we have an encumbrance out there, but it's a reimbursement grant. So we have to wait till the items come in, pay for them, and then do a project cash request to ask for the money back. So this means that the fund would end not exactly negative because we haven't spent the money because the items haven't come in, but we would show an encumbrance. So that's why I would rather just transfer, advance, because transfer, the money stays there forever. Advance, you borrow the money and then you pay it back when the other money comes in. So that would just be an advance that would then be repaid in 27. And that's all I have for you this month.
There, no, motion to approve items 6.1 through 6.5 under treasurer report. Second? Second. Discussion? So how many yearbooks does Pat have for previous years? I mean, is it just last year? Or do we have like an abundance of previous years? Do we know?
He is working on the year of. He's not maintaining like the past years those.
Do you think we have some like of previous years as well that people could purchase if we
Well,
advertise
some
them?
go to the library and like maintain, and then some, as after a handful of years, they go into the Clever Touch when you go into the high school and you go on that wall and you want to go back to your class, those are available there. So had a lengthy discussion with Mr. Kenya today, because we're saying, when I was principal, a lot of it was like, it's good for kids to be in yearbook, like the act of doing it. We're not having, like we talked some of this before, with College Credit Plus, you're not having some of those kids that are on campus now taking yearbook classes. So some things we do are expensive programs. Project Lead the Way, expensive program. The kids who choose to go Project Lead the Way, there's a ton of value for those kids. But you're always making it our roles of, is the value there? Because things are expensive. Talk to the handful of kids that go through Project Lead the Way, it's a big bang for the buck for them. But you say, is that the case there? Yearbook is similar in the fact of 10 years ago, you had people, they loved to take that elective, and they were here, and there's a learning process to going through the yearbook, just like newspaper. Writing, having that part, that's a learning piece. We say, well, there's a cost to that. Now you're getting to the point where Mr. Kenya doesn't necessarily want to sacrifice and say, I want to be the first school in the area not to offer yearbooks to students. He doesn't want to be groundbreaking in that sense. But what some schools are doing is saying, here's all the stuff. Here's the pictures, here's all the details, and then you have a professional, and it could be Walsworth, it could be the group that we're working with. He's meeting with that rep tomorrow. It could be them saying like, here's our stuff, you put it together. Because if we are not having the kids in that class from an elective standpoint, it might not be the learning part that we as educators like to say it's good for our kids to go through the process of kids put this together. It may be, here's all of our stuff professionally put together by them, potentially cheaper, and then we have the end product for our kids and our families who want to have that as going forward. So that potentially answered
Also
none of your
potentially-
questions.
But also potentially more expensive too. You know, I mean, maybe?
They're
I don't know.
generally less.
Less?
It's generally less.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like, because Pat and I sat down and went over this the other day, it does not sound like we actually have like a stack of yearbooks to sell. The
Okay.
company has the yearbooks. There's a pre-order number that Pat gives them, and then the parents pay to buy the yearbook from the company,
Yeah, okay. That's what I
not like
thought.
we're selling them out of the.
Yeah, that's what okay.
Yeah, so there's that too, that he was looking at maybe doing that a little bit different, or changing the pre-order numbers, or seeing if we could have less that way. But if you want a yearbook, apparently we can still sell them. And I would think that we could sell prior yearbooks too, if you want one from last year.
Okay.
That is definitely a Mr. Kenya question, so, but yeah.
So that is where he's kind of contemplating on the part of having this as a class or not. but he does not want to be the first principal in this area to say, we don't have yearbooks available, because maybe our younger kind of group of kids and our graduates, ultimately, what do you want? You want to go back and I want to have some record of like, that was my team, that was my class, here's my experience, and pictures are what kind of drives that. So is it in a format of a hardback that you and I in our time frame, like, we love that because I have it from high school, I have it from college, there's all my classmates. I don't know if that same drive is there for every kid, if they still know they have access to, here's me from age 15 to 18, basically. So that is the real decision from a financial standpoint, because I love the learning aspect of it, and it's like, you're not getting those numbers. Those elective numbers are just not there because kids are not on campus. And it's typically, it's not underclassmen, it's generally your junior and senior kids, and those guys or girls are doing work release programs, college credit plus, and not physically on campus. That's reality of Norwalk and every other school district.
Any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Norris,
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett,
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford.
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler.
Yes.
Personnel.
All right, this is the most exciting part about being superintendent, is hiring good people. So we have two people that waited us through the executive session, and they're still here.
In the cold.
So Morgan Cummings, intervention specialist. So she had a great long stretch of time. So she's a trucker grad, and she was at Maplehurst, so was doing her student teaching. So the two teachers that she worked with, and she knows this, like, they came to me and said, we need to get her into this district. Like, she is doing things that veteran master teachers have never done before. Creative, thoughtful, and how good she is with kids. So we eventually got to this point after many, because we have internal movement, and we got to a point where it needs to be an external hire. So she's clearly an external person at that time. Morgan Cummings, have seen her in action. Our people are very happy with her and excited to have her on board. So if you approve her, Morgan Cummings will be a great person. I hope for an entire career as a trucker, as a Norwalk teacher. So thanks for being here, Morgan. Another intervention.
Graduate? What year did you graduate? All right, so we shook her hand.
That was in your window. That was in your time frame. Yep. So we have a second intervention specialist, Megan Haluzzi. She will be at Main Street. We have Mandy Wozniak, who is also here, so supervisor secretary. She will be at Pleasant Elementary. So if you did not hear, we have kind of internal movements that happen to get to what that opening would look like. So Lori Cook, who has been with Janice Smith for the longest of time, she is actually going to be here at the high school. So that's kind of a later start, because that's a replacement of Sharon Linder. So you know that's going to be a few weeks into the start of kids. So Lori's going to be great because she'll be learning here what she needs to from Sharon Linder, and also be at Pleasant to help with her. So her experience, if I'm saying this correctly, has run point in a dental office, family business. So she's run point and handled a lot of people in a lot of different situations. And she has also worked and subbed in our school district. So people know her, have experience with her, and that's why she was the right fit to be hired for this position. The next grouping of individuals are 4 aides. Most of those aides will be at Maplehurst. As you know, we're adding an empty classroom, so we have many one-on-one needs there. So 4 quality people there that Ratiba and Mr. Moore focused in their interviews and landed what we believe are the 4 best. Heather Armstrong, Courtney Boffman, Fawn Cluding, and Lindsay McDonald. All right, the less fun part is resignations. I informed you guys before, we have 2 top-level teachers that we're losing, resignations on 7.2. They make sense for those individuals. We just didn't want to see them leave because they are that good. They've been good for the truckers for a long period of time, but they make sense. Chris Dowdy, clearly, you know, he's a St. Paul graduate. He's a football coach there, and Martin Linder did a smart move and got him to St. Paul. So good for him, not great for us, but best of luck to him. Haley Taylor, her entire family, she lives right next to Edison School District. She had an opportunity to go there. So here again, just like Chris, Haley Taylor makes sense for her, but she's been great for us at Pleasant for a long time. So congratulations, wish both of them well. Liked them during our window here as truckers. And then we have 1 aide in Kenlyn Hershiser, who's also resignation effective August 20th, 2026. Samantha Flores, she was initially a track coach and then she stopped showing up, and Coach Oglesby let us know that, so she will not be getting a supplemental pay for the remainder of this school year. 7.3, we have employment for food service program at the hourly rate. The 4 individuals listed there. 7.4, stipend of $150 per day for transportation staff to participate in the mass casualty mock trial or mock drill conducted by Fisher Titus Medical Center. Anything, Mr. Ballman has been working with that. Anything else to add on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is, obviously it's run through Fisher Titus, and they asked if they're going to need one of our school buses for the drill and to use our facility, our parking lot out here. So I thought that'd be a great opportunity, not that we're gonna be fully involved in what they're doing with that, but if we can get some of our transportation staff, our bus drivers, our aides, you know, that would be at least at one session, you know, to see, you know, to experience of what that would, you know, entail. You know, they're not, like I said, they're not involved with, you know, Fisher Titus with that, but just to be observers or to be a part. You know, because they're gonna have, you know, I think they call them student actors, you know, so the real, try to make that as real.
And we've done this in the past too. Anytime you can work multi-agency, and obviously we're all connected, whether it be hospital, the sheriff, the police department, it's good to work together to have these trainings. And a lot of times it's during the summertime. There's one time I said yes to that. We were doing triage and dragging things across our newly waxed floors. And I'm looking after like, maybe I shouldn't have said yes after the floors have been waxed at Norwalk High School. But the training and what's learned from that, I think is valuable. So anytime we can say yes to that, we
And we'll
do.
make sure, and I know Fisher Titus, we'll make sure that the public is aware that this is a drill, you know, to see all the action out front.
Please post on all the Talk of Norwalks.
It'll still be on the talking. 7.5, we have a stipend, $3,500 for Jeremy Bliss to serve as the driving training manager for the driver's ed program at Norwalk High School. That's for 26-27 school year. Stipend of $150 per day for Stephanie Pope to attend the new College Credit Plus adjunct orientation, paid through Title IIA funds. 7.7, we have 25-26, this is supplemental contract for Tyler Kraus as Main Street Student Council Advisor. 7.8, Harrison Love, tennis camp, girls and boys advisor for this summer, paid for from tennis camp proceeds. 7.9 is an addition to the Robin Rogers list of those that help with outside groups as we use the art gallery, this Fisher Titus room, and the EPAC. Evan Hoffman's a good individual. He's a youth pastor at the Presbyterian Church, and he's going to be added to the list of some of those individuals that you have approved in prior meetings. We have supplemental contracts at Norwalk High School. I will not read through the entirety, but they cover the bulk of the year. You have a lot of advisor positions and for the entire year. So a lot of the names that, like I said, it's good to have consistency, and those same individuals have been leading for many years. And obviously you can see that based on the code and the steps they're at of how many years those individuals have been doing that. Norwalk Middle School, we have Brock Manlett as girls basketball coach. 7.11, we're looking at the middle school level. Similar to this, we have both coaches and director positions. And then Norwalk High School, we have 3 additional there as faculty manager, which is serving the role of assistant director, assistant athletic director to Josh Schlatter. And then we have, which is great, people that are tied to the school and want to give back as volunteers. So sometimes their schedule doesn't allow them always to come back. So sometimes they go as a volunteer because they can't make every practice, every game, every function. But it's great to have those additional people, because when you have more adults helping our students, it's a good thing, especially when they're quality people. 7.13 is a correction. This was a step correction for Troy Albright. The second part there is correctional pupil activity permit for Roosevelt Jackson. So the one that was a full track, she was splitting with him as a 50%. So that's what they were hired as. So once Coach Oglesby said that this other individual is not a part of the track program, Roosevelt Jackson is getting the entirety. So instead of being the split 50-50, he is getting 100%. And Mr. Norris knows that he was active and part on the scene there. So for him to get 100% of that stipend, well worth it.
Definitely.
And then our last one was Greg Silcox, who was here in a previous board meeting. That was a step correction based on what was provided to us from his previous school. So that was moved up, so he's moved up one step. So those are the corrections from previous action. And that's all I have for personnel.
Is there a motion to approve items 7.1 through 7.13 under personnel?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All right, roll call please.
Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
All right, you guys are official.
Welcome aboard. Thanks for waiting, sorry.
And I understand you're playing music and playing gigs now, right? Is that true? Yeah. All right, so yeah, I didn't know that about you, so yeah, who knows, like, she could be entertainment here in the future. Yeah. So,
Sorry it took so long.
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you all.
Superintendent report.
8.1, these are both overnight experiences, so that's why the items are being brought to you as a board. We have girls' basketball that is going to the Finley camp, and then our boys' soccer team will be at Ohio Northern. So dates are listed there, both coming up here in June, the next day or so. 8.2, we have the high school handbook. 8.3, we have both the staff and the student side of the Trucker Talk and the athletic handbook through Josh's department. 8.4, we have an agreement with Fisher Tides Medical, looking at our nursing services for state auxiliary funds. 8.5, we have agreement with the North Central Ohio ESC, where needed, comprehensive school counseling for the upcoming school year. 8.6 is agreement with Bright Ideas Speech Therapy, extended year and going through this summer. 8.7, which we have talked in our previous special session, presented by Mrs. Gerber, cybersecurity. That was a basis for having an executive session for. So we're looking for approval as presented by Mrs. Gerber from a handful of weeks ago. 8.8, provided by Pepple Wagner, is our update to our board policies. From staff use of recording devices, preventing chronic absenteeism, code of student conduct, artificial intelligence, remediation, intervention, program for reading skills, extracurricular activities, investment policy, and credit card policy. So those were submitted as attachments. Again, Dan Louder is our primary author of those. So that is all I have, Madam President.
Great, is there a motion to approve items 8.1 through 8.8 under superintendent report?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
any discussion?
yes. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
I don't know, I just do. 8.6, so the Bright Ideas, is that just for ESY services? Like they're not gonna service kids throughout the school year?
Right, it's just extended,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Okay.
We have our own, I don't know why, we have our own speech people, but
Okay. Maybe they didn't want
Yeah.
summer hours or.
Yeah.
And then 8.5, what would like the as needed part for the comprehensive school counseling services, like what does that look like?
they set up some program, Jackie White did with Retiva. There was something they wanted to do, was it curriculum or for counseling?
Yeah, we are revising our comprehensive school counselor,
That we haven't addressed
yes.
in close to a decade.
Okay.
So-
Is it at a tier 1 level? Is it more like? I'm sorry.
Phil, this is your area, you should be going in depth in your area.
We're all just like,
I'm so like
what Kayla said, please.
like for all students and like your whole like SEL curriculum, like is it part of like addressing like
I feel like I have an email from Jackie on this, cause I did ask her about it, let me see, cause
Maybe you need to be in this meeting.
no.
she did tell me something about it. If I can get my email up, sorry. But I do feel like it was something to do with counseling curriculum.
Because we like Sandusky uses step up, step 2, step. They use some kind of step something for their littles, and then they
I hope it's
use.
step up and not step down.
It's either step up or it's a step number. And then it's second step. That's what it is. Sorry, I was thinking step up to quality preschool,
number.
second step for SEL curriculum, and then I'm not sure what our older grades use, but I wasn't sure if that's like, or if it was more of the small group. I don't know. curious.
There's some other questions, Kayla, we cannot answer for you.
No, I think I'm good.
Oh, shoot, sorry. All right, any other board discussion? All right, roll call please.
Sorry, I was still looking for.
No, I mean, you're fine, Joyce. I don't
It's
know.
not, I'm just.
No, now my
curious.
email's up, now I have it, I have it. I can tell you, because I asked her what this was for. Educational consultant contract, okay, here we go. This is for the school counselors to get training on creating a comprehensive school counseling program. We have one now that is very outdated. Ratiba and I spoke with Brad and Dan about getting a training for this, and they were on board. This is a place that offers it. I talked with Jeanette. She's, Ratiba's overseeing counselor stuff. Okay,
Sounds like alignment.
Yeah. and then like if you read the actual contract, it says one day face-to-face, 2 day Zoom meeting, to be able to do educational consulting services for comprehensive school counseling plan.
It's looking
Now,
at the
that's all I
continuum
know.
of services for our guidance, our school counselors, from, preschool all the way through
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
K-12.
We haven't had that identified. It's been what we say with the building levels and like
Yeah.
they're doing good things at the building level. Or you say, what's the connection from Maple to Norwalk High School? There wasn't the tie there. And so why is this really being seen now? Because Jackie is replacing Kathleen. So that wasn't a replacement. Jackie's gonna be at that level. So she's worked from her level, working with all buildings, and now she's like, now I'm in the building level, this is what I see needs to happen. And every other counselor who's been here, like experienced individuals from the middle school to high school crew, they're seeing it like, yes, we need to. Cause I looked to Michelle Sander, that it was like, I think her first year when she was hired, that this was even looked at. And she's been here for a good while now.
Yeah, we have our different buildings, league on 6 through 12, we have our sources of strength. So it's identifying at what levels, career counseling,
Good to know. Thank
So
you.
superficially, we answered your question.
It sounds like
Going 2 steps deep, we need Ratiba and Jackie here, all right?
alignment and continuity of services. I'm on board with that.
Okay, Mr. Norris,
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett.
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford.
Yes,
Mr. Ritzenthaler.
Yes.
great, board discussion. Okay. So we moved back our next meeting, building meeting, core meeting, moved.
July 1st.
Yes,
Right, okay.
so that'll be the time that we're actually seeing numbers for the new build. And we'll see what we're looking at. So there's gonna likely be an extensive list for value engineering. Because we're gonna see like what these price points are. So Garmin Miller working with CT Taylor, we'll know what like, here are the numbers coming in. And they're gonna, when they talk to us on July 1, they're gonna have some areas as to, here's where we can. Because we don't wanna say we always have to go with option 2 and 3 and 4 of our list, but there'll be some areas like, this is where you have savings. And they're gonna bring that to us because we're not in the business of producing that. They're gonna bring that list to us. So we understand like there'll be challenges, but you can't have a project like this and face some of these, like, there's difficult decisions to be had. So we fully expect that, and that'll be the case on July 1 instead of July 24. So for the people listening, like that'll be the critical time. So when we meet in July, that's when we'll actually start what we all wanted, like, months ago, was having real numbers to know where we're at. Because I think all of us, like none of us are intimidated or fearful of it, like, but you want to know where you're at so you can make good decisions going forward. I think we'll be in a good place.
Like Joyce said, inflation, so I'd like to have a baseline of where we're at and what we're looking at, so that's great. I mean,
Right.
July 1st is great. And then I think, Kayla, are you attending that one too?
Yes.
Awesome, okay. Any other board discussion?
I'll be heading down to North Carolina on Friday. Grace is gonna represent the truckers at Nationals in Greensboro. So, and there's a few others that I'm not sure who all is gonna make it out, but, there's a pretty good showing of truckers going down to Nationals.
Awesome,
Nice.
Great.
go Grace. Awesome.
we have our artist in the main gym right now, so doing the connection with the Gray's Garage that was promised when we had the family and at that basketball evening. So that is happening. So she's looking probably through this week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, she will finalize it. So
We can peek in there.
so yeah, if you wish to after this meeting, you can peek in there. And she's in the difficult part because she's never done almost like treads as she fades out beyond Gray's Garage and trying to connect with the blue and gold stripe and then trying to do tread marks. So that's where she left it at the end of today. So she is gonna probably be tweaking and adjusting that, but it's a good connection. Like I said, and she's done a lot of work on the truck itself, so kind of updated. It's been there since 2010, so 15 years later. She's doing some nice pieces, so she's universally used around every school. So yeah, you can't go to one school and not see some best Sage work. So Sage artistry is pretty healthy in the Huron, Sandusky, Erie counties.
With the change in the building meeting, do we need to worry about when our next board meeting falls or in July?
I think we're likely gonna have to look at a special session. So my recommendation is we keep our second Tuesday as currently set, and then we'll talk. Unless it makes sense to have the numbers then, and it can be tied to it. Otherwise, I would say we keep our our regular session on the books for what it is.
Okay, I actually never ever take vacation, but I am out of the state the last week of July, so I would like to be part of that meeting if it's
Okay.
at all possible.
Okay,
I'd rather not miss
and
a board
hopefully we're
meeting.
before that.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I just wanna let you know that's the last week we're in Outer Banks.
Move the meeting there.
I mean,
How big is the place?
yeah, it's pretty big, so.
Sleep 40 or what?
Great. Anything else? I'm good. No? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Mrs. Burkett?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzenthaler?
Thank you.